What happens to your muscles when you run a marathon? Well, for me, it's pretty simple. I lost them. Last month, I ran my first 2 marathons after spending all summer running up to 40 miles a week to prepare. Just ran 18 miles, my longest run ever so far. First 20-mile run. And if you're anything like me, someone who's been lifting their entire life and recently started running, then you've probably also wondered if it's possible to run high mileage while staying jacked. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about how my body changed during marathon training, what I would do differently, and my plan over the next few months to get my muscle and strength back. I thought today would be a great day to bring you guys along with me because today is step 1 of that plan, which is testing my max deadlift. So what happened? How did my body change over 16 weeks of running up to 40 miles a week marathon training? The first thing that is important to understand, you're doing a different thing to your lungs, to your muscles, to your cells in your body, literally, you know? Because you're optimizing for a different result or performance benefit, your body is going to look different, you know? Knowing that, you know, whatever happens mentally, whatever body dysmorphia thoughts happen, that like, you know, what you're doing is gonna make a change and that's okay. One of the biggest benefits practically of running that I've noticed is just not getting tired when you jog somewhere. You know, I can pull up far away from a concert venue park and run to the show and arrive barely breaking a sweat. You know, that's pretty cool. Expanded parking radius to your destination. As I was first building up my mileage and the runs were getting longer, like the literal places I was able to go on foot, getting further and further away from my house, was really cool to see it grow. Coming from the perspective of someone who's lifted weights my entire life, the positive feelings you get lifting or exerting yourself physically in that way, that's a hard physical effort and you're done and that feels really good. And that kind of comes in peaks and valleys. It spikes and then it drops off and then you exert yourself and it spikes and it drops off again. And running, I found that you kind of rise up to that point and stay there. To me, what like runner's high feels like, or how exerting myself physically in that way differed from weightlifting. Some things I did differently than I had when I was only lifting weights. I would eat a lot more carbs. I would drink Gatorade, eat running gels. I would always eat bagels and jelly and stuff in the morning to make sure that I was fueled in that way. But what I didn't do was focus on protein. That in combination with lifting 1 or 2 times a week instead of 4 or 5 times a week and always having a ton of protein, I think was a big factor in how I ended up losing a decent amount of muscle during the marathon prep. So I noticed myself when I would return to the gym feeling a lot more sluggish. I was feeling weaker. My grip wasn't as strong and my muscles were physically getting smaller. You know, I could see it literally in the mirror, right? While how we look obviously plays a lot into how we feel about our bodies, you know, for me, it also has a lot to do with performance. How strong am I? How good do I feel? And running does contribute to this in a very, very strong way. You know, I think it's really, really cool and it makes me feel really empowered and powerful and strong to be able to run 26 miles. I just want to also have all the good feelings that I feel from being strong in the gym and lifting a lot of weights, you know? I wanted both. Which brings me to what I would do differently. By the way, if you ever see me around Milwaukee, my sexy rusty RAV4, be sure to say hi. I think one of the biggest things is that there's really no way around the fact that you kind of have to keep strength training. So instead of lifting once or twice a week for half an hour with kettlebells at my house, I'd probably do that. But in addition, also make sure that I'm hitting those longer sessions, the compound lifts, bench press, pull-ups, deadlifts, squats, front squats, barbells, probably about 3 times a week, in addition to my couple of kettlebell workouts at home. The thing is though, once it gets to that peak marathon couple of weeks or month where the mileage is the highest, the lifting is definitely gonna have to back off at those points. I think now that I've actually built more of an aerobic base, it'll be easier to add strength training back to it. It was probably better that I came into running with a lot of muscular development already, so I was able to let it not take priority for that time. Now that adding running isn't such a drastic addition, I think it'll be safer and easier to do both at the same time. Honestly, the biggest thing that I would do differently is make sure that I'm eating a caloric surplus. I wasn't really tracking my calories or my meals at all. It just wasn't something I was doing. You know, I was making sure that I had enough to eat on my runs and eat before my runs, but an overall caloric and protein focused tracking is something that I wish I would have implemented better. drink more calories. I would totally drink more calories, whether that's sipping on Gatorade throughout the day, milk, chocolate milk, orange juice. Drinking calories would be a great way to get more calories and fuel throughout the day. I got the Christmas lights adorning the streets in Milwaukee. So my plan, what do I plan to do? Step one of that plan is here at the gym where I'm testing my deadlift max, because one of my goals is to complete Deadcember, similar to Squattober, which I did last year and made a YouTube video about, which you should go open in a new tab, watch it after this one. Deadlift every day. It's a process-oriented goal, you know? I just want to have done it all those days. I don't have like I want my ass to be this much bigger, you know, or my max to go. I don't even know what my max is gonna be, you know, and honestly, I don't care how much it goes up. I want to have recommitted to lifting by doing a ton of it. Deadlift every day. Maintain aerobic fitness. Eat in a caloric surplus every day. Okay, but enough talking. We're here today for one reason, and that is to see how much we can deadlift. I'm gonna be using conventional deadlift as the type of deadlift I'm doing for this. I can lift more weight, sumo style, personally, but the muscles that each one works are different. I want the adaptations of conventional. I got 345, pretty decent, I think. I didn't want to strain myself too bad, you know. I put 365 on the bar, wasn't moving like right away, you know, and I'm really not about to kill myself, you know. So I took 10 off each side, and that's where we are. Went up, we got it done. So the plan. So I'm a video editor, freelance video editor. This is my life. That one allows me the flexibility to work out twice a day potentially, because I want to get some running in as well. And just to be able to, you know, commit a lot of time to this and to kind of do things at my own pace and whatever time works for me, you know, so that's kind of one thing I have going for me. But the other thing about being a video editor is I'm sitting in this chair all day, you know, so I need to move that much. Days that I don't exercise or run or anything and I'm just here working, I can get less than 2,000 steps in an entire day, you know, which is like not what I want to be doing. The other thing that I'll be doing is tracking my protein and my calories. And the way I do that is by using ChatGPT, actually. I have it chat and I tell it everything I eat. You see that? I eat almost the same thing every day. So I just need to be like, oh, I ate my morning breakfast smoothie. I ate my bagel and eggs breakfast sandwich meal. I've input one time the weight and stuff of all the different meals that I eat. So this is way easier than using like my MyFitnessPal, scanning barcodes, weighing stuff out, because I'm just trying to get a ballpark, you know. None of this is like take over my life, super science. And every time I report something, it reads me back what I've done for the day, and every day it resets to 0 and starts over. And I basically asked it, I'm a 28-year-old male, I'm 5'8", I'm 165 pounds, this is like my fitness level, how much should I be consuming every day? It gave me a ballpark estimate of calories, carbs, fat, protein, and it's been way easier than using other fitness nutrition tracker apps. So maybe I'll make a whole video on how I set that up and the prompts I use and stuff if you're interested. It's actually a good idea. I'm probably gonna do that. Another cool thing that I learned from a Jeff Nippard video that analyzed a study about retraining untrained muscle is that it's way easier to build back muscle that you've built before, like muscle memory, but at the cellular level. Simple version of it is that muscle cells have multiple nuclei or something like that, and each nucleus can only handle facilitating a certain amount of muscle tissue, so that when you're growing muscle tissue, you need to also grow more nucleus cells. But when you lose muscle tissue, you keep all the new nucleus cells, so new muscle tissue can be added back quicker. Something like that. I'll put maybe the graphic I put on screen when I edit this will explain it, will visualize it better. That's it. Deadcember is coming up. I'm gonna make a video every week documenting it. Subscribe. We have Thrive hoodies for sale. You can buy them at the link in the description. Keep striving to thrive, and I'll see you in the next one.